Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing some homeschool advice with you. If you are a new homeschooler or you just need some general homeschool advice, I'm sharing that with you today. So if you're interested in hearing about that, then hit that thumbs up button and stay tuned. So for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Sharia Maurice and I'm a homeschooling mama of 3 kiddos, ages 1, 3, and 5. And I like sharing videos on how you can simplify your homeschool to save you time, money, and your sanity. So if you enjoy that kind of thing, then be sure and hit that subscribe button. Turn on the little bell so that you can be notified of my latest videos in your subscription feed. And if you'd like to get a behind the scenes look at our homeschool, you can follow us over on Instagram at the Sharia Maurice. Though I will say we are not completely consistent on Instagram. I do not post on Wednesdays and I do not post on Sundays. Those are my rest days from social media, so you can't expect to find me there. But otherwise, I'm usually there throughout the day during the week, just sharing bits and pieces of our homeschool day. So you're welcome to follow along with us there if you want. Today, I'm sharing some homeschool advice for new homeschoolers, veteran homeschoolers, whatever. Advice is advice and can help anyone, right? So today I'm sharing homeschooling advice with you that I hope will help you and encourage you and just inspire you. So my first little bit of advice to you is that you are the best teacher for your child, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You do not have to have a teacher's certificate or degree in education to effectively and successfully teach your children. You are the best teacher for your child because you are the parent to your child, and God has put you in that position. He chose you specifically for your child, and He chose your child specifically for you. And so that is all the reason and resource that you need to be able to successfully teach your child. And I think that oftentimes we forget that even if we ultimately send our children to public school, and all of the people who do send their children to public school when they turn, kindergarten age, that they have taught their children up until that point. They've taught them how to interact with, adults. They've taught them how to behave, to obey, how to get dressed, how to brush their teeth, all of that stuff. They've already taught those life skills to their children. So they're already, oh, look, we got a bird at our window. It's Mrs. Cardinal. Oh, they've already been teaching their children, and then they give up that teaching whenever they send them to public school. So as a homeschooler, what you're doing is you're just continuing that pattern and that process. You've already demonstrated the ability because obviously they know how to get dressed, they know how to brush their teeth, they know how to survive in life generally. So you're already teaching them, and you already have those skills, and you're already capable of doing it. Just don't give up on it. You can do it, okay? That's my first little bit of advice to you. The second thing I want to tell you is that things don't always go according to plan. You can plan the whole year out if you want, or you can plan the next 3 weeks out if you want. But either way that you plan, it's not going to go according to plan. It's just not. I'm sorry to tell you that, but and I'm a planner, okay? I like to plan the whole year. I like to plan months at a time, weeks at a time. I plan. But I also know that it's not going to work out the way I plan because I can't see the future. Only God can, right? So we are sinful. We are not perfect people. And despite the best plans that we have in place, we're going to have bad days. Things are going to be tossed aside. People are going to get in fights. You're not going to feel good. You might get sick. Things happen. And so the plan is going to have to be set aside. And that's okay. Don't feel like you have to live off of this plan. Who you really live off of is God, right? And so you need to be flexible in that, okay? So just so you know, things are not going to go according to plan. So be okay with that. Expect it to happen, and that way you won't be surprised whenever it does. Also, my next little homeschool advice to you would be to think outside the box. So I think sometimes we get just trapped in our own ways of thinking, and we forget that as homeschoolers, we have the freedom to try new things and to change things up. And even if it's a common homeschool thing that people are doing that you've seen out there, and it's not working for you, you don't have to do it. Like, everyone's doing morning basket. I need to do a morning basket. I have to stick to a morning basket. Even though my kids hate sitting down, I don't enjoy the stories that I'm reading. The morning time basket just isn't working for us, but we have to do it because that's what homeschoolers do. No, get out of that mindset. If it doesn't work for you, then leave it. And that's my second bit of advice to you, to take what works and leave what doesn't. So even if everyone else is doing it and that's the homeschool way and it's not working for you, then don't do it and don't feel bad about not doing it. Or on the flip side, do something that not everyone else is doing. Here's an example. Circle time, or my view of how they had it at school was everyone would sit down, my kids would sit down, would sit in front of a calendar, and we'd go through days of the week, months of the year, all of that stuff, right? And I started out my kids in preschool doing that kind of thing, but after like 2 days, they were not interested. And in fact, my son would complain, oh, I don't want to do it. And so I completely stopped it altogether. I didn't do circle time that year. And then the next year I picked it up. I did a little bit. I just did, we would sing the songs, but I wouldn't actually sit down and have a circle time like we often see so many other families or even the public school doing. And so now this year I'm doing circle time completely differently, and that's okay. I've decided that my children enjoy watching things, and if I can get them to watch a little bit of educational stuff, then I'm happy. And so I've decided to put our circle time on TV. So I went onto YouTube and I found videos that have those songs. And so I just created a playlist, a circle time playlist, and I can share it in the description box below if you're interested to use it as well. And I just play our circle time as a video, and we just stand there and we watch, we sing along with the songs. And I also included the stuff that I wanted my kids to learn that wasn't a part of any other time of our day, which that would be the books of the Bible. And then there's the weather song. And also I wanted to teach them the national anthem, Star Spangled Banner. So I included all of that in our circle time, and we watch it on TV on YouTube. Now, some parents would be like, no TV, we're not gonna do that. You can't watch all the, can't watch so much TV, or you can't put all these can'ts. You can't do this, you can't do that. But I get to decide because I'm the parent and I know how my children work best and what is best for them. And I'm going to try it and see if it works. And so far it is. And so don't be afraid to take what works and leave what doesn't, and try new things. Think outside the box. So all of those things kind of go together. The next bit of advice I have for you is that no curriculum can beat lessons learned in life. So this is especially an encouragement for those of you who are pregnant or have a new baby and are starting to homeschool. There are going to be days where you are just too tired to do any kind of homeschool, and that is okay, because your children are learning life lessons just by watching you and experiencing life with you. They're seeing how to care for a new baby, how to be gentle, how to be quiet when the baby is sleeping. All of those things are very important life lessons that they need to learn. And so you don't get to the books, you don't get to the math and to the reading lesson that day. That's okay. You can put bookwork aside for months until you feel ready and energized and have more sleep so that you can think clearly to be able to teach your children. That's okay. Put those things aside. Lessons learned in life is so much more valuable in some ways than the bookwork, than the math. They'll get to that. They'll learn those things. And if they don't, that's okay. There are many things in life that I have not learned, and there are many things in the bookwork that I have not learned or that I'm not good at, and that's okay. I still survived, right? So you're going to have times where it's just you can't do school that day. You need to be flexible and remember that your children are still learning through experiencing life with you. Life is a lesson to be learned, right? So there's that little tidbit for you. And then the last thing I have for you is really, as a new homeschooler especially, but even as a veteran homeschooler, sometimes it just takes time to find your groove, whether that be your homeschooling groove in general, like you're just starting out homeschooling and you're figuring things out, it's gonna take a while. So don't think that you're gonna get it all in together in the first month. That's just unrealistic. Now there might be cases like that, okay? I'm not saying that that couldn't happen, and if it did, or if it does for you, then way to go, that's awesome. But that doesn't happen for most of us, especially not me. It took me a while to find my groove. And even in some cases, I feel like I'm still finding my groove, where I'm still adjusting and learning. And I think that that's a part of the homeschooling experience, because life changes and fluctuates. And so over time, we grow as people, we grow as homeschoolers. So really every year your homeschool is gonna look different. And so even on a yearly basis, it takes time to find your groove just within that year. So be kind to yourself, be compassionate with yourself, be gracious with yourself, and know that this isn't something that you are going to get out out of the gate. It's just not going to happen. And that you can be okay with that. That's the way it goes. And just be encouraged with that you don't have to have it all together. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to be messy. This is real life, and real life is messy, but you can do it. That's my last encouragement to you. You have got this. You can do it because, like I said at the beginning, God has put you in this position. However you got to be to the homeschooling realm, whether he put it on your mind, whether you know, it's been something that you've known you're gonna do since before you had kids like me, or whatever the case may be, your school just isn't working out, maybe you're moving and you realize that homeschooling is the best option for now. Whatever the case may be, you can do this because you are the parent. God has put you in this position, and really you can't fail, because with God, he takes all of our efforts and he makes it all for the good. Even if we've failed in some cases, he turns out everything for the good for us, doesn't he? So we learn from the failure, our kids learn from the failure, and it becomes something that will grow us and make us better than we once were before. So be encouraged with that. Really, with God, you can't mess things up. He helps us and gives us grace, and it's just great with him. So that is my homeschooling advice for you new homeschoolers, veteran homeschoolers, homeschoolers in general. I hope that this video helped you and encouraged you and inspired you for this upcoming school year. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure and hit that thumbs up button. Turn on the little bell icon and subscribe so that you can see my newest videos that come up. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.